Most people in America are looking for how to make a life worth living and return with having. In order to do that, we have to be pretty prepared for what our life is going to be in the next 4 to 5 years. You see, if you're not thinking about that when you look at getting a job for the first time or even for the second time out of college, you're not thinking about where your life can go, where the turns and twists can be in terms of fate and the people that you'll meet and the people that you'll greet. The truth is that every day you have the chance to meet the right person for your life. Every opportunity that comes your way is truly a gift of God. But if you don't recognize the gifts of God, you often become a player in a slamming, bamming, inexperienced, and immoral world. The question that you'll have to ask yourself before you leave this world is, what do you represent? What are you presenting to the world? And exactly what do you think you're presenting to other people? Do you think you're so sophisticated in your abilities that you're presenting something really awesome to them? Or do you think that you're so immature in your capabilities that you don't realize that everyone who sees you thinks you're a jokester, a jerk, and an asshole in this world? The truth is, if you don't get that, then you're going to think you're a player that's so cool, so bad, and will be walking around thinking that you're not new school, but perhaps old school. You see, old school is so busy trying to make the play, take advantage, and ruin life in America for other people that they don't quite get out of the gate. In other words, they don't quite get beyond their high school mentality and into a real job that pays a real salary, which affords a real home for shelter, a real opportunity for transportation in terms of a vehicle to allow you to the freedom of movement, the freedom of travel, the freedom of vacation time when you get it and when you earn it. And the truth is, in America, it's about earning a living. It's not about taking a living. It's not about stealing a living. It's not about trying to make yourself feel better because you just got nailed for the fact that you chose your life. Isn't that harsh? I mean, you chose what you chose to do for a living, and if you're in the middle of your lifetime, in other words, you're in your 30s or 40s, and you realize you're sort of stuck in inclement sort of situations, that's on your choices every day. You see, you can go to work and be miserable, or you can go to work and use any type of moment to prove to your company that you're worth a higher salary, that you should be moving yourself up the corporate ladder into the actual national conglomerate office and not staying at the local retail level. But that's on your life. That's on your choices of how you choose to interact with the public, or the secret choppers that your company sends in to check you over. And sometimes people get moved out of a situation so they can't be harmed anymore, but in truth, it harms them further. And I have to ask you, who the fuck are you to give any type of harm to someone's life in America? We all have enough difficulties, we all have enough struggles, and we all know from the Career Builder struggle studies that basically 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, which means you, motherfucker, are a part of that. Because if you're not driving the classic Cadillac, if you're not driving that great BMW, if you're not driving that Mercedes, if you're not driving that 4x4 that costs $300 a month in payment, then what the fuck are you doing here? What are you living for? Now, a lot of us don't put material possessions above people, but some of us have material possessions that truly belong to our heart, mind, and soul. In other words, they were totally a gift from God, given to us, just as it says in the good book, that anything we have and all that we have comes from God. Now, if you're a thief and stealing from people like me and others, then you are that thief, and you're that thief that was lying and basically on the cross next to Jesus, begging Jesus to remember you in heaven. Why would Jesus want to remember you in heaven if you're too busy lying, stealing, and cheating other people? And then you could say, well, I don't believe in God. Well, good luck with that, because at the end of your life, you'll be standing there right in front of Jesus. And if you're not cowering in front of the great light of the Lord, which is who will be standing behind Jesus, in other words, the mother and father of Jesus, standing behind that in such a glow that even the angels fear to tread. In other words, they don't even bother looking at his head. And it's probably because we can't imagine what he looks like, and he might not look like anything like a human being, considering the fact that there are aliens that will be descending in the next few years from above. What do you think that our life looks like from that point? It's almost like that Escher chair painting, where in essence within the chair there's a microcosm of life living within an actual chair. Now, that's probably not the truth of the world, but it's sort of that concept of elves and dwarves and things that we got in The Hobbit and all those things that we aren't really wanting to face in the world, that there are other type of aliens out there, including foreigners, that really don't belong in America anymore. You see, we have to learn to grow food. We have to learn to produce the harvest. We have to learn to herd animals. We have to learn to be cowboys and cowgirls again. We have to learn how to handle our earth. And we have to learn how to protect ourselves from the varmint and the vermin and the predators of men, such as things that live down in the southern states, that we really don't need anymore. You see, God put us in governance over those things, and while it's great that wildlife rescue want to rescue these things, some of these things are prehistoric, some of these things are cunning, and some of these things will take down a boat with their family and friends. So we have to be deciding, what are we going to be fighting for? Are we fighting for human life, or are we fighting for predatory life? And we don't need predators in our home. There's nothing more offensive to God than a family that takes home a predator in their home. Any type of predator that has a poison, any type of predator that has a bite, that's not just a love nip like a goose, or basically a little playful time with a dog or a cat, is not appropriate to a home.